In the restaurant's vibrant hustle, I executed my duties as a security guard with precision. They called me the mysterious Peter. A hush of anticipation swept through as the manager retreated, leaving the floor to Diana's captivating entrance. She glided between tables, her presence like a breath of spring, blonde hair cascading over her shoulders. From my vantage point, I admired her poise amid the clamor. Drawn to her, I seized a lull in the evening rush to introduce myself. "Hi there, Diana. I'm Harry, the security guard. Welcome to the team." My Marine-trained instinct to connect was irresistible. Diana's smile was radiant, her eyes a dance of excitement and determination. "Thanks, Harry. It's hectic, but I'm finding my rhythm," she replied as the night unfolded and presented her first challenge. A boisterous group threatened the restaurant's tranquility, their raucous laughter slicing through the air. I stood ready, a silent guardian. Their ringleader, sneering, tested Diana. "Hey, darling, care to sample our exclusive service?" Her response was a masterclass in poise. "Our focus is on great food and positivity, not hostility." But the air crackled with tension, words alone wouldn't suffice. Stepping in, my Marine-honed skills proved decisive. The instigators were promptly shown the door. Diana's relief was palpable. "Thank you, Harry. How do you manage them so well?" Her gratitude was genuine. I assured her with a firm, "On my watch, no one causes trouble." My smile was slight, but my eyes held a serious glint as the evening wore on. Throughout the night, Diana and I shared fragments of our stories, delving into the restaurant's trials and our mutual puzzlement over Peter's cryptic disapproval. Unbeknownst to us, our serendipitous encounter was the prologue to a partnership destined to unravel the restaurant's hidden enigmas. The tension between Peter, the manager, and me had escalated, a silent storm brewing beneath the surface. The time had come to confront the source of the inexplicable animosity. The evening waned, and as the last customers departed, I found myself in the dim corridor outside Peter's office, our gazes locked. "Peter, we need to talk," I said, my voice a blend of confidence and resolve. He met my stance with a sneer, eyes narrowing. "What's on your mind, Harry? You've been nothing but trouble since you got here." Drawing on my discipline, I remain calm. "I'm here to ensure the safety of this place. If there's an issue, let's address it directly." Peter's retort was dismissive. "So, you think you're indispensable? I run this restaurant, and I don't need a soldier telling me how to handle my business." Despite the rising tension, I kept my composure. "I'm not here to take over, Peter. We should work together for the good of our team." His voice dropped to a fierce whisper, "You're on thin ice, Harry. Don't overstep." That's when Diana appeared, her presence drawing a line through the thick hair. "What's going on here?" she asked, her voice tinged with worry. Peter shot her a warning glance. "This doesn't concern you, Diana. Stay out of it." But I stood my ground. "Actually, it does concern her. It concerns all of us. We deserve to know what's fueling this hostility." They nodded, a silent pact forming. "We're a team, Peter. We should be working together, not against each other," I urged. But Peter's face contorted with anger. "Enough. I value your efforts, but as the manager, the final decisions are mine. Now, back to work." His words left a bitter taste as he retreated to his office, and Diana and I shared a glance that spoke volumes. This clash was the catalyst for a struggle that would ultimately shape the restaurant's destiny. Tension lingered, a heavy cloak of discontent. And there we were, Diana and I, inexplicably bonded by the injustice at Peter's hands, facing the grim possibility of joblessness. That same evening, as silence reclaimed the restaurant, Diana and I found a quiet corner. "We can't let this go on, Harry. Peter's ways are unacceptable," Diana declared, her eyes alight with resolve. I nodded, my agreement wordless but firm. "We need to take a stand," I concurred. "What's our next move?" she asked, a hint of weariness in her voice as she brushed her hair aside. "I don't know, but this has to stop. It's affecting us all." Our conversation revealed a shared experience of injustice, a common narrative of suffering under Peter's tyrannical rule. United by a desire to set things right, our alliance deepened. The next day, amidst our routine duties, Diana and I quietly reached out to fellow staff members who had also felt the sting of Peter's leadership. Whispers of discontent wove through the kitchen, signaling a covert rebellion. Miguel, a line cook, sidled up to us, his voice tinged with resolve. "I've been thinking. It's time we stood up to Peter. We can't stand for this treatment any longer." Diana's face lit up, a spark of hope in her eyes. "You're right, Miguel. Together, we're stronger. Together, we can make a difference." Word spread like wildfire, and soon, a cadre of colleagues united. We shared our grievances about Peter's unjust ways and found solace in our solidarity. In this burgeoning alliance, a camaraderie blossomed. Diana and I, to our surprise, became the de facto leaders of this quiet insurrection within the restaurant's walls. Little did we know, our collective fortitude was about to be tested, steering us toward a future none could have predicted. The undercurrent of dissent against Peter grew, fueled by our shared trials. Cast into leadership, Diana and I navigated the tempest brewing around us. And then, amid the turmoil, Diana held a revelation poised to change everything. After a day fraught with challenges, she beckoned me aside. "Harry, there's something you need to know," Diana began, her eyes a mix of determination and candor. My curiosity piqued. "What's up?" I asked. Diana took a breath and revealed, "I'm not just a waitress here. The restaurant belongs to my father." I was stunned. "Your dad? But why keep that a secret?" She exhaled deeply. "I wanted to truly understand the staff's challenges, to experience the restaurant from the inside." Witnessing Peter's corrosive impact, Diana felt an urgent need to intervene. As her words settled in, the full weight of the situation dawned on me. Diana continued, "My father has no idea what's been happening. It's time to bring the truth to light and make things right. I want you to be the new manager." Her proposal caught me off guard. "Me? Why?" I asked, genuinely surprised. Diana's smile was radiant. "Because you've shown integrity and resilience. I trust you to lead us to a better future, unlike Peter." The idea of change energized me. "All right, let's do this. It's time for Peter's misdeeds to come to light and for justice to be restored here." Armed with evidence and unity, Diana and I faced her father the following day. The revelation shook him, but he admired our courage. "Dad, we need a new direction, and Harry can guide us there," Diana asserted. Her father nodded, understanding the magnitude of the decision. "Peter, you're dismissed," he declared. Peter, caught off guard, sputtered in disbelief. "This is preposterous. They're staging a coup." But Diana's father had seen enough. "Your time is up, Peter." With Peter's departure, Diana turned to me. "Harry, are you ready to help rebuild as the manager?" I nodded, silently accepting the challenge and the opportunity that came with it. This revelation marked the beginning of a new era, one where justice and integrity would prevail. Diana's father, pleased with the outcome, extended his hand in a welcoming gesture. "Thank you, Diana. It's been a team effort, and I couldn't have done it without everyone's support, especially yours," I replied, acknowledging the collective endeavor that led to this transformation. The sense of camaraderie within the restaurant was palpable. It was as if the departure of Peter had not just removed a tyrannical force but also lifted a barrier that had been stifling the staff's spirit. Under the new management, the restaurant began to flourish. The staff, once demoralized, were now brimming with enthusiasm, eager to contribute ideas and take on new responsibilities. The changes were not just in hierarchy but also in the very culture of the workplace. The restaurant's ambience became one of warmth and welcome, reflecting the new ethos of the management. Diana and I worked closely, ensuring that the values of respect and integrity were woven into the fabric of our daily operations. Our partnership in management became a symbol of the restaurant's new identity, where each voice was heard and valued. As the days turned into weeks, the restaurant's reputation for not only great food but also for its vibrant and friendly atmosphere began to attract a growing clientele. Regulars returned, new faces became familiar, and the community around us started to take notice of the positive changes. In the quieter moments, when the rush subsided, Diana and I would reflect on the journey. The challenges we faced had bound us, and in overcoming them, a deep mutual respect had formed. It was during one of these moments that Diana looked at me with that spark of excitement. "Harry, this revival, it's been incredible. You've been a driving force behind it, and I can't thank you enough for stepping into this role with such dedication," she said, her appreciation sincere and heartfelt. I smiled back, feeling a sense of pride and accomplishment. "It's been quite the journey, hasn't it? We've all pulled together and created something special. I'm just glad I could be a part of it." As the restaurant hummed with life around us, it was clear that the trials we had faced were not just obstacles but also opportunities. Opportunities to grow, to bond, and to build something better than before. Diana and I, as leaders and friends, looked forward to the future, ready for whatever it might bring. knowing that together, we could face it head on. The restaurant's success was a testament to the collective effort of everyone involved, but Diana's admission added a new layer of depth to the narrative. Her words hinted at a shared journey that transcended the day-to-day operations of the business. The challenges we had faced together had forged a connection that was both profound and personal. "Diana, I feel the same," I responded, the warmth in my voice reflecting the bond we had formed. "What we've built here together, professionally and personally, it means a lot to me." Our relationship, now kindled with romantic potential, brought a new dimension to our partnership. The restaurant, thriving under our joint management, became a symbol of our shared vision and commitment. Customers could sense the passion and unity that permeated every aspect of the establishment, which only added to the allure of the dining experience. Diana's father, witnessing the transformation and the blossoming relationship between us, was visibly pleased. "The two of you have done something extraordinary here," he said, his eyes twinkling with pride. "This place is more than a restaurant now, it's a testament to what can be achieved with hard work, unity, and a touch of love." Diana and I shared a knowing look, our silent communication honed over countless hours working side by side. She turned to her father, her voice filled with pride as she spoke of the critical role I had played in their success. "Harry's leadership has been a cornerstone of our achievements," she said. Indeed, the restaurant had become a community hub, a place where our team felt valued and patrons felt welcomed, like family. Our sense of accomplishment was not just about financial success or popularity. It was about the family we had created among our staff and the love that now intertwined Diana and my futures. As we looked ahead, it was clear that the challenges we had faced were not just hurdles to overcome but stepping stones towards a richer life. The restaurant had evolved into a symbol of our love and commitment to each other and to a shared dream. The restaurant had transformed into something beyond a mere workplace. It was a remarkable display of the strength of love, unwavering resolve, and the surprising partnerships that life had brought our way.